Audio rolling, file 10, speed, mark, Criterion Blu-rays, Top Shelf episode 74. Welcome back to the Top Shelf, my Criterion review series. Alright, let's see if we can wait out this leaf blower guy. What a time to record. This is the only time I get to record as well, so I got the place to myself, so I'm not interrupting anybody. And we got all this noise outside, which is kind of in keeping with the film that I'm talking about. There's a great audio mix of it. There's a lot of detail in the sound. And unfortunately, this guy is right outside the window. And he still has a long way to go in getting these leaves cleared before he moves on. Yeah, I wish there's... And this is the only place I can shoot because this is the only place that has my shelf. I do not have a clapper anymore. Welcome back to the Top Shelf, my Criterion Blu-ray review series. My name is Ernest M Whiteman III. I'm a Northern Rifle filmmaker, artist, writer, and media educator. And we're taking a look at the top shelf of my video collection, which contains my Criterion editions. Every time I purchase a new Criterion disc, I will produce a new episode for this series. I don't foresee capping it at all, like I did with the literary edition. Mainly because I know I will continue to be purchasing films long after 100 episodes. Thank you for joining me on this. Thank you for hanging in. For you that just subscribed, I am virtually surprised by that. And I thank you for your trust in me in providing some type of content that means something to you. Don't be afraid to comment or like. You don't have to purchase anything. My channel isn't monetized. I don't make any money off of these. I just do this for the joy of doing it, despite my meager, finances. And we're taking a look at my Blu-ray collection, which I'm starting to build now that I have a Blu-ray player, despite streaming. Streaming can fail a lot. And I will present a new disc, give you a brief synopsis if I've seen it, a look at the extras and supplements, and give you a reason why I purchased the disc. And sitting on the top shelf for today is Jayro Bustemante's LLarona. Now, we've all seen the Conjuring versions of this, and it is folklore in Mexico and Central America, the weeping woman. And why she's weeping is she lost her children. And it's become sort of a ghost story, which is sort of takes away from, the reasons why she's crying in the first place, I think. But, we're all for being scared. We're all for simplifying things when it comes to indigenous folklore. But what Bustemante does with this is that he makes it a political allegory. It's still sort of there's still some suspense and tension and some supernatural interwoven with this. But this takes place in Guatemala with the trial of a former authoritarian dictator. And he's being held accountable for all the crimes he perpetrated under his regime. And while he's doing that, his family at home, who do not believe at all anything that he's done, they see it as propaganda of the leftists, hire a new housemaid, played by what is her name? I can't find her name anywhere. She was the main actress in Ixcanul, a really great film by Bustamante. I want to say Maria Convoy. I know she has a middle name. She does. It's right here. Maria Mercedes Cory. Great, great subtle actress. She says things with an expression. She plays Maria, the housemaid that gets hired, and then all sorts of spooky things start to happen because she is part of this, the indigenous people that this dictator suppressed in his regime. And it's a really new retelling of the story of LLarona. And I would recommend this over any of the scary ones, but if scary things are your forte, have at it, don't let me not let you enjoy things, even though I like to do that. I like to shake my finger at people. So let's take a look at, I already broke out the glasses from the last episode, so I just kept them on. So let's take a look at the extras here. This is from 2019. It's 96 minutes, color, 5.1 surround sound. In Spanish, Ixil and Quechquetl, which are indigenous languages, with English subtitles, 2:39:1 aspect ratio, so it's super wide. You'll have the black bars at the top and the bottom. Director approved Blu-ray special edition features include a 2K digital remaster approved by director Jayro Bustemante, 5.1 DTS HD audio remaster, new interviews with Bustamante, a documentary on the making of the film featuring interviews with cast and crew. That's something I'm really looking forward to. The trailer, new English subtitle transitions, plus an essay by journalist and novelist Francisco Goldman, probably about the political climate that this movie depicts. Now, the tenuous connection I make to Roma is the actress Maria Cory, who's indigenous herself. She's Mayan, and so this is the second film I've purchased. I purchased these at the same time with Roma, and it didn't hit me until they arrived that they both had indigenous South American or Central American Mexican actresses in the lead roles. And I know here in the US, especially in Native communities, we don't really look at the film community of Central South America and Mexico barely at all. I mean, we laud our cousins to the north with their filmmaking efforts. We like to pat ourselves on the back with our filmmaking efforts. But we tend to overlook our family to the south when it comes to their filmmaking efforts. And they're a lot more ingrained into their traditional cultures than we have been, assimilated here in Canada and the US. And so they're still talking about the things that are still happening to Indigenous peoples that happened here in the US and Canada with encroachment, land theft, re-education of Indigenous children, taking of Indigenous children, resource extraction, all the things that happened and kind of still happen here in the US and Canada are happening now in Mexico, Central and South America to the indigenous populations there. And again, we tend to overlook that, especially when it comes to Native and Indigenous women. We tend to, even Native communities, overlook those voices. So it's always cool to see them make an indelible mark in films like they did with Roma and Ixcanul and now LLarona. Jay Bustamante has put out two really excellent films, I think, that anybody should be proud to have in their collection. And that's the main reason I purchased it, because I saw this when I realized that who it starred and who made it. I knew I had to see it because I knew the take on the folklore was different than other iterations of the story with LLarona. And I watched it, I bought it streaming, purchased it, watched it as part of a film club I was doing with my family back in Wyoming, and just really enjoyed the film. It's beautifully shot again, as always. There's a rich color palette to it. even if it's dark and spooky. And I really enjoyed the film. So when I saw that it had made the Criterion Collection, I was happy because it was included, but I was also kind of, they could have included Ixcanul as well, but I'm sure Kino Lorber, who holds the rights to Ixcanul, are going to hold on to them. So that's on the top shelf today. Jayro Bustemante's LLarona, just added to the collection, very new. Spine number 1156. And that'll do it for this trio of films. Thank you for, again, hanging in this long with episode 75. I hope you stay with me. Feel free to comment, like or dislike. It's your interactions that I really enjoyed taking a look at, even if you're cussing me out. So thank you again, and I will catch you next time.